A Robert Muller Peace Ideas Guide at robertmuller.org. Chapter 1. Robert Muller creates a huge websites of peace ideas. His Wikipedia page says he lived from 1923 to 2010. His website robertmuller.org is full of positive ideas. My Dreams for Peace Education, Robert Muller, 1996. UN Secretary-General U Thant, a former school headmaster from Burma, and my spiritual master, often said to me when I was his assistant, "Robert, there will be no peace on earth, if there is not a new education." He was right. I will therefore reproduce here, in his memory, my peace education dreams given in my acceptance speech of the UNESCO 1989 Peace Education Prize. Today I dream. 1. That all schools of this earth will teach about the United Nations, which is the young people's greatest hope and will be their instrument of global action when they are grown up. 2. That all governments which have not yet done so, will ratify the University for Peace, this magnificent dream being implemented in demilitarized Costa Rica. 3. That all schools and universities of this earth will teach peace and nonviolence and will become schools and universities of peace. 4. That UNESCO recommend to the United Nations to proclaim an international year for global and peace education. 5. That children in all schools of the world will celebrate the international days proclaimed by the United Nations, for instance the International Day of Peace held on the third Tuesday of September, when the yearly General Assembly opens, World Environment Day, June 5, United Nations Day, October 24, Human Rights Day, December 10, and several others reflecting the great aims of the United Nations. As a result, youth will participate from childhood in the making of a peaceful and better world. 6. That many philanthropists will follow the example of Mr. Sasakawa and will help global and peace education at the world level and continental, national and local levels. 7. That the media who have a major role as educators will follow the example of Ted Turner and will inform, teach, illustrate, and make audiences participate in the building of a better world. In particular, it is imperative that they inform the public of the world information, achievements, and constructive work of the United Nations. 8. That the film industry will produce noble inspiring films devoted to the great visionaries, prophets, and artisans of peace, past and present. I dream of great films similar to that on Gandhi, devoted to the lives of Dag Hammarskjöld and U Thant, and Robert Schuman. 9. I dream of a substantial progress of peace toys and applaud the recent agreement between the government of Sweden and toy manufacturers of that country no longer to produce and to sell toys of war and violence. 10. I dream of growing numbers of international schools and international universities in the specialized fields of the United Nations agencies and world programs, following the example of the World Maritime University in Malmö, Sweden, of the United Nations University in Tokyo, and of the University for Peace in Costa Rica. 11. I pray that the United Nations University will create branches in New York, Geneva, and Vienna to allow students to better know the work of the United Nations and of its specialized agencies at the three main seats of the United Nations. 12. I dream that all universities in the world will require that students should take a course on international organizations laboring in their fields. 13. I dream that UNESCO will study and recommend by the year 2000 a world core curriculum for adoption by all nations. 14. I hope that all books, manuals, and history teachings will include a chapter on the United Nations, which is rarely the case today. 15. I hope that all social and political sciences will follow the example of the exact sciences and become global. We need most urgently a global anthropology, a global sociology, a global psychology and a global political and administrative science, planetics and Gaia management. 16. I dream that all religious education will teach peace and nonviolence, proclaiming as the first cosmic and divine law on earth, "Thou shalt not kill, not even in the name of a nation or a religion." 17. I dream that each country shall create a Ministry of Peace and an Academy or Institute for Peace, with local branches, in order to guide and coordinate the efforts of citizens, schools, and local institutions and associations working for peace, nonviolence, and a better world. The University for Peace could from time to time organize international conferences of such new peace departments. I pay homage to my CO Laureate, Mrs. Elise Boulding, for her action which has led to the creation of the prestigious Institute for Peace by the Government of the United States of America. May all countries follow that example. 18. I dream of the creation of a world peace service which would allow young people from all countries to work together for peace and humanitarian causes instead of military service. 19. I dream of the birth of a true world literature whose bestsellers would be works of peace and nonviolence. 20. I hope that the University for Peace will establish a global peace strategy which would reach from outer space to the atom, encompassing all aspects of our planetary home, the atmosphere, the seas and oceans, the polar caps, the continents, nations, regions, cities, and villages, and from the whole human family to the individual, encompassing races, peoples, cultures, religions, generations, professions, institutions, firms, the family and all groups and associations created by the human race to attain a greater level of happiness and fulfillment. 21. I pray that all human beings of this earth become instruments of peace, thus fulfilling the cosmic function deeply engraved in each of us and for which we were born and allowed to live temporarily on this beautiful planet in the vast universe and eternal stream of time. The peace of the world is the sum total of the peace of all individuals. 22. I hope that the United Nations General Assembly will proclaim a worldwide celebration of the year 2000, to which UNESCO would contribute its vision and projects in the fields of education, science, and culture for the next millennium. 23. I dream that the United Nations flag and United Nations hymn composed by Pablo Casals will spread worldwide and that October 24th, anniversary of the birth of the United Nations, will be celebrated in all countries as is recommended by the General Assembly. 24. Finally, I pray that the United States will take again their seat at UNESCO and resume their visionary and dynamic role at the United Nations and in all specialized agencies of the United Nations, so indispensable at this crucial stage of history when world problems multiply unceasingly. We should remember these last lines of a text which Franklin Roosevelt wrote in his own hand on the day of his death for a speech he was to deliver at the opening of the San Francisco conference convened to give birth to the United Nations from the ashes and blood of the 60 million dead of World War II. This work, my friends, is peace, more than an end of this war, an end to the beginning of all wars. I ask you to keep up your faith. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. Let us move forward with a strong and active faith. May I reinforce this prayer that the U.S. Congress pursue the American dream to be the cradle and foundation of a new world order, and consider a bold, visionary strengthening of us-born United Nations, instead of letting their minds be poisoned by the thought of letting the UN die by withholding U.S. financial contributions. The non-joining by the U.S. of the League of Nations was an invitation to Hitler and Mussolini to become dictators and provoked World War II. May America not repeat that mistake, I beg you. See what Europe has achieved by creating the seeds of world union. Do even better, since you are the land of dreams. Love and concern of the American people for the world and humanity find their highest expression in the United Nations. I pray God to enlighten all Americans to that basic truth. Please listen to the prayer of one who has suffered much during World War II and was miraculously blessed with survival. I would be happy to address the U.S. Congress and all parliaments in the world to plead for the strengthening of the United Nations and for a peaceful, better world. Robert Muller Acceptance Speech, Laureate of the UNESCO Prize 1989 for Peace Education. Mr. Director General. Dear members of my family. Dear friends, human language is often insufficient to express deep emotions and finds itself reinforced in such circumstances by tears and internal images. When I received your telegram, tears came to my eyes as well as an image from my childhood, that of a young boy who from his window high up in the house of his parents in Sarreguemines, Alsace-Lorraine, was contemplating a border. It was a line not to be trespassed. Beyond it lived hereditary enemies, people we were to despise and even hate. And yet they spoke the same language and had the same names as we. And when I lifted my eyes to the sky, I saw stars, a sun, a moon, clouds, and birds who ignored totally that border. And I dreamt that someday I would be allowed to work for its suppression. My family had still to suffer a lot from that border, as I grew up, 2 evacuations which made us twice refugees, World War II declared 50 years ago, today, Nazi occupation, imprisonment, the French underground, a fate best epitomized in the life of my grandfather who held successively 5 nationalities without leaving his village of Saralba, which I have the joy of seeing represented here today. And my dream was fulfilled. I became a servant of the United Nations and worked there all my adult life. Other friends from Alsace-Lorraine took issue with that border and worked for the creation of a European community which is today a flourishing reality. And when I received my latest passport, I had a beautiful surprise. It has the title European Community and under it the subtitle France. I hope that the papers of my descendants will bear someday the title United Nations or World Community and under it a subtitle the name of their country. And, if God grants me life, I will make it a point to be present in Sarreguemines in 1992 or 1993 to see the last remnants of that border dismantled. All my life has been a succession of dreams, often fulfilled, not to see another world war, to see the United Nations become universal, to see the end of colonization, to see nations work together on innumerable issues in 32 specialized agencies and world programmes of the United Nations, to witness the birth of international schools, of world universities and of a university for peace, to see a world core curriculum adopted in a first few schools around the world. And since dreams engender other dreams, it happened that one of these schools dreamt that I should be awarded the UNESCO Peace Education Prize. And here I am, in this hall, living again the fulfillment of a dream. Mr. Director General, humanity must never cease to dream. Dreams are stronger than the sword. You, in your high functions, your colleagues, the 40,000 world servants of this planet, the 5 billion mothers, children, grown ups and elderly must dream very strongly and highly, taking the point of view of the heavens, of the stars, of the sun, of the moon, of the clouds and of the birds. And our dreams of a peaceful, weaponless, beautiful and good world for all those admitted to live on it will come true. And since it is in the minds of men that wars begin, as is underlined in UNESCO's constitution, it is in UNESCO and in the schools of the world that an end to the beginnings of all wars must be made. I thank you, Mr. Director General and all my friends for your kindness of giving an hour of your precious lives to this beautiful ceremony in that magnificent institution, sign of the new times which UNESCO represents. Some of Robert Muller's 7,000 plus ideas. During the next years I will deliver a series of major speeches on fundamental subjects in my mind and heart, namely the absolute need for a new political system for our Earth, for a new education, for global leadership training, for new global media, for a new economics, for a global spirituality, for better ways of human settlements on the planet, for ensuring a minimum well-being for all humans, for preserving our planet, its nature, its seas, oceans, and climate for future generations, for enhancing human happiness and the overall beauty of our paradise Earth, unique in the immense universe. Idea 1269 December 31, 1997. On this last day of the year, I dream that humanity will say someday, it is on that sacred hill, indigenous Mt. Rasur, that Robert and Barbara Muller dreamt their visions of paradise Earth, of a divine, happy, peaceful humanity living on a demilitarized planet, and from which their visions, dreams and ideas spread to the world and were fulfilled. Idea 1987. In my view the two main purposes of government should be to make the Earth a paradise, to render humanity happy. Well, since we have already words like humanizing, civilizing, pacifying, why don't we coin two more words, paradising and happinizing, to create paradise and achieve happiness on Earth? A landscaper or a person tending a beautiful garden would be a paradiser by beautifying a little corner of the Earth. A philanthropist would be a happinizer, a gayaphalist a paradiser. Why not? It is all a matter of starting a new custom. After a while it would be accepted as common sense. Did not God give us this message and duty when He placed Adam and Eve in paradise Earth? How exciting will be the day when we will be able to say, we did it, we have made the Earth a paradise, a Garden of Eden inhabited by a happy human family. And how exciting this task will be for the 21st century. Idea 3219. The same way as so many nations, for example the Spaniards, the British, etc. were exploring the earth with unlimited enthusiasm and self-interest, I wonder if all humanity could not embark and unite around a new and even more fantastic exploration, the way of making this planet a peaceful, just, happy, fulfilled, well-preserved, non-violent paradise in the universe. How exciting this would be! Let us start an all-human paradise Earth project, epub. It should accompany the Culture of Peace and Nonviolence campaign launched by the United Nations and UNESCO to totally eliminate war and violence from humanity by the year 2010. Idea 3294. When will we be able at long last to call our Earth a Garden of Eden, a garden of peace, love, beauty, and happiness, a paradise in the universe? Yes, peace, love, beauty and happiness, a paradise Earth should be our objectives for the third millennium, to be attained as rapidly as possible. The higher the objectives, the closer one gets to them. Idea 3391. It will be much easier to plan and work intelligently for a just, happy, fulfilled humanity on a well-preserved Earth than to cope in innumerable, disorderly ways with the multitude of problems besetting us now on Earth. Yes, why not try to achieve Paradise Earth within the next 100 years? Let us set Paradise Earth 2100 as the target, the logo for the celebration of the year 2100. Idea 3395. Why not have in universities a new faculty called Achievement of Paradise Earth? Isn't that a major dream and objective of the human species? Such faculties could render us a tremendous service. We must create one at the UN University for Peace. It will be one of my objectives. Idea 3398. We have more than 30,000 international people's associations working for the good causes of a better world and humanity. But surprisingly not a single one tries to achieve Paradise Earth. The word is not even mentioned by a single one of them. I am at fault myself. I am writing 4,000 ideas and dreams for a better world, but that is not enough. If God allows me to live longer, I must write and publish the next 1,000 ideas on how to achieve Paradise Earth, and select from the first 4,000 ideas those which are related to that achievement. Idea 3906. There are places on Earth which are very special, which have a power of elevation, inspiration, and enlightenment, almost of a cosmic, universal nature. Sacred Mt. where the first University for Peace and Earth Council of this planet are located, is such a place. I wish that Gaia scientists of the Earth, would study such places. It is perhaps there that the capitals of the Earth, the offices of the heads of states and the heads of all world and regional organizations should be located. It would lead to a fundamental transformation and elevation of humanity and of the entire planet to the ultimate success of the cosmic forces of the universe to achieve Paradise Earth. Idea 3908. At this beginning of a new millennium, we humans must absolutely decide to open a new era of the Earth, of nature, of ourselves, and plan with joy and enthusiasm a true Paradise Earth visited someday by astonished outer space beings who will offer us as a model to other life-bearing planets in the universe. Idea 4104. Students from the UN University for Peace, researchers, writers, linguists, visionaries, heads of states, prophets, and searching minds from around the world would be allowed to stay there, to spend a few days and nights, to awaken in the morning on sacred Mt. looking as far as the Pacific Ocean and writing their ideas and dreams for Paradise Earth. One wall of the library would be devoted to implemented ideas. All our archives, chronological files, journals, writings, speeches, manuscripts, tapes and videos would be available and preserved in adjacent rooms. Idea 4135. We should make Mt. in demilitarized Costa Rica the sacred mountain of ideas, dreams, visions and prophecies of Paradise Earth, as predicted by Rasur, the god of the indigenous children. Idea 4193. Making the Earth a true paradise is conceived principally as an action which should come from the top, governments giving up wars, ensuring the well-being of all their people, suppressing the colossal armaments and military expenditures. But there is more to it. Each individual, each one of us can make of our personal life a paradise, our family a paradise, and contribute to making our neighborhood, our village, our city a paradise of peace, justice, happiness, and beauty. Barbara and I do it with Mr. Risser in Costa Rica. Why not create a world people's movement for Paradise Earth? Idea 4400. Impossible, will you say? Well, one must always decide to attain the highest, maximum objective. A man was set on the moon only after a strict plan to attain that objective was adopted and firmly executed. We must do the same for the Earth and humanity, design, adopt and firmly implement a Paradise Earth 2050 plan. Let us work on it and make the 60th anniversary of the UN in 2005 an important step towards it. Idea 4422. We humans should feel like very precious, very advanced, evolved whole sentient miraculous cosmic beings on one of the most incredible, perhaps unique life-bearing planets in the universe. This is what children ought to be taught in schools, that they are true miracles whose job will be to create Paradise Earth. Idea 4515. Until the end of our lives there remain marvelous treasures, places and ideas still to be explored. Mother Earth should be renamed Goddess Earth, Paradise Earth. Idea 4886. God made only one mistake when he created the Earth, it was to create man. Of course he had an excuse, it was the last day of his hard labor to create a miraculous, incredibly beautiful Paradise Earth, and he was tired. Idea 4930. I cannot understand why love is not inundating our Earth. Why must it be business, money, freedom of enterprise, more and more merchandises and goods, running around the world, and endless activities and agitations? How about love for our beautiful Earth and her nature, love for peace and tranquility, love for our neighbors and our environment, love for the depth and genial meaning of our individual, miraculous human life? This is such a wonderful, extraordinary, perhaps unique planet in the universe that we can no longer have wars and destructive competitions on it. We must now fulfill our destiny, make of this planet Paradise Earth, and live fully filled, happy, loving, heavenly, individual and family lives on it. Idea 5034. Humanity on this miraculous planet must absolutely be a success story. Having finished my 5,000 ideas, I want to write my next work on Paradise Earth. I have always felt that despite all the errors and pessimism, we can preserve this planet as the true paradise it is and make it an even greater one. Idea 5050. Too few people on this planet try to solve the impossible. We need many men and women who would consider it their duty to solve the impossible. In particular, we need Paradisers, i.e. people who consider themselves capable to organize Paradise Earth. Idea 5053. Only one belief can put an end to all anxieties on this planet, the belief in the perfectibility of the human race and its capacity to organize paradise on Earth. Yes, Paradise Earth should be the next, highest objective, priority and ideal of humanity. Let us decide so worldwide and work for it with our imagination, belief, and enthusiasm. Idea 5196. The Earth. Dear Robert, there is something you do not do enough. You should tell your readers and listeners that they are my natural children, all made of my ground, vegetation, fruits, air, water, and animals' flesh. They should therefore love me, take good care of me, keep me healthy, beautify me, give me children in reasonable numbers, not to kill each other, not have wars which destroy me and yourselves, and insist to be returned to me, buried into me at their death to become other products and children of mine. I think I am doing my job well. If you humans, my children, will do it too, we will be the most perfect planet in the universe, we will be Paradise Earth. Idea 5218. There are just too many wrongnesses left on this planet. How can we accept that side by side there remain hundreds of millions of poor, often hungry, homeless brothers and sisters while astronomical sums are being spent each year on armaments and militaries? The United Nations and its 32 specialized agencies should publish every year a report or reports on world wrongnesses. They should be in 3 parts. 1. Wrongnesses healed, corrected during the preceding year. 2. Persisting wrongnesses still to be corrected. 3. New, emerging wrongnesses, if any. As a result, we will move closer to a better world, nearer to the supreme ideal of Paradise Earth. Idea 5247. The Earth. Dear Robert, if only this capitalistic system of producing endlessly more goods, more travel, more inventions, more needs, more media could change. If it continues to spread worldwide, it will mean my decease. Dear Earth, I am trying to do my best and more people are trying too, but capitalism continues to gain ground worldwide. The only thought I have is to purpose that you, the Earth, should be made a paradise. My next book will be on the attainment of Paradise Earth. Idea 5272. If God brought me and Barbara to the paradise of Mount Racer, it is to exert every possible effort to make of the whole planet a Paradise Earth. Idea 5273. Every day should be a day of thanks for the miracle of human life and of Paradise Earth.